with the FIMU Alpha LC Season 5 here in Week 6, as we just saw Oof take down One Trick Ponies in the first game of the night. I am now joined by a new co-caster, Rafal. How's it going, man? And what were your takeaways from that game one?
Yeah, as Pickman begins, just looking back on game one. Hi, everybody. It's Rafal, by the way. I got flashbacks of the finals last season when Hansu absolutely crushed us with his Talia jungle. Something that's not really in meta anymore, but you can tell that he's just so adept at it that he can still carry whether or not it's meta, which definitely makes it a gigantic threat in pick ban.
Yeah, and speaking of being a threat and pick ban, it is the second ban posted by One Trick Ponies in this pick and ban phase. Is the same bans coming up from the side of Oof, as they are just picking on the Anivia and the Sivir Hover right here. Kind of want to see if they go back to any of those main picks right here, as the Renekton, hey, you may be the One Trick Ponies team, but you can't let the One Trick Renekton have his one Twick. Why am I saying Twick?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, you can't let him have his main.
Yes.
So
an All-Star ban. So only one ban against Fwesh, who has been working on also expanding his champion pool. So the ability to just ban 2 or 3 champions from him in first round to like kind of lock him onto one champ, no longer an option like it was over the fall brawl. So they're just opting into just the Anivi ban, knowing that it's his main, and he's got now 3 to 5 champs he can kind of pretty comfortably choose from now.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. It's definitely not a good strat to ban the Anivia, ban the Corki, and ban the Zillion to put him on the Ghana. But something I would like to know: Jinx first pick by Jirachi. I think that even though we saw the Jinx first pick last time, we thought it was going to be Mudkips. It ended up becoming Jumper J, as this Soraka Ashe bot lane is going to become a thing.
It's interesting. I mean, the Jinx first pick definitely, gives Oof kind of an idea of what they want to be picking when it comes to, diving that Jinx in the backline. And picking the immobile bot lane early as well kind of gives the exact same sign to OTP, who counters by picking a Thresh.
Yeah, and I do like the Thresh pick here, because it was banned in the second phase, and a ban that One Trick Pony lifted the Kayn in place of the Talia. They pick for themselves now, as Theatrix is also a resident Kayn player. But I'm gonna be interested in seeing what does he go for the Jarvan? Does he go for a Nocturne? Is there anything else that he feels that he can 1v1 against right there? And Necro guy saying, well, if I can't have my one Conqueror top laner, I'm going to take my other Conqueror top laner. Fled right. So huge presence for him in the top side to be on his comfortable champions right there.
Yeah, the Kled blind pick, but Kled also scales a lot more comfortably than a Renekton does, so he doesn't have to be super worried about getting counterpicked, or at least as much as he, if he got counterpicked as Renekton and just kind of lost lane, it would be a disaster. But Kled scales a lot more effectively than Renekton does, so can be a bit more comfortable blind picking it. Another jungle ban potentially coming out, against Elucida.
Yeah, and I think my biggest concern right here is when they prioritize Kayn, Malphite, or a laner, I think that Ganon's champion pool in the top lane is not necessarily limited, but all the champs kind of do the same thing. And if you're thinking about what that can outright, the Malphite is the best, as the Swain is being hovered right here, giving counter pick over to Elucida. I do like the Swain pick though, and to me, that does not indicate whether it is Kips or Jumper J. It could be either one of them in that mid the Swain.
I agree, but at the same time, I'm not sure why they wouldn't be picking the jungler here. Potentially a Kale pick. That would be interesting. Yeah, I mean, you can. It's interesting because OTP, the junglers they've banned and picked are so far all junglers that are good at flanking. They don't want the Evelynn, the Kayn, or the Tilly to flank the Jinx on the back line. But at the same time, Oof is picking like an Ashe, a Kled, and a Swain. Like they're not looking for a flank. They're looking to go deep. So I don't know how necessary something like the Evelynn ban might have been, but I mean,
I think
nonetheless, a strong pick for Elucida.
I think it's more about not just the comfort of the champion as the Orianna right there. That will be a Kale top for Ganwian.
This comp is it's a late game one. They need a strong jungler for Oof to start camping this Kale. If Kled gets ahead versus Kale, he can demolish her. But
The Jarvan is up.
Jarvan would be a strong pick. They have no escapes on OTP.
Oh no!
Oh,
He's doing it to him! Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about Echo Jungle. When I first played against Elucida, he went on and had Echo Jungle and Shyvana Jungle in a series, and I did not see most of my camps that entire game. Now, the jungle is a whole lot different, and Kayn is not, and I think I actually was on Kayn. Holy crap, I was on Kayn. Kayn's not great early. Echo can burst him down. Look for Elucida to jump in that jungle and kill Kayn. Because my goodness, the amount of dive you were just mentioning now on the side of is immense. Also with a Soraka to back them up while they're diving.
yeah, the ambulance running in with the Kled ult, just going wee woo, healing everybody she wants. And no real front line for OTP. They if Oof gets ahead, they can just start picking any fight they want as soon as their ults are back up.
Yeah.
OTP will have very little they can do about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was mentioned in chat by General Dill that picking a Jinx with no frontline question mark pings, but we just saw Oof do it, but different that they had a top laner who got really far ahead so no one could match them. So can the same be said for this Kayn or this Kale getting really far ahead or, ganking the bot lane against another bot lane on the red side of the map? I don't know if they have the exact same tools. It's going to take some heroic efforts possibly from this Thresh from Slaga or some really nice passing from Kayn to try to get them through this early game struggle.
Yeah, Kale can feed pretty hard and make it out, but there's only so much you can feed, before you just realize that you've lost the game. So, I mean, Kale will probably fall behind. It really just comes down to, can Kale actually make it out of lane with like an item or two, and not just get crushed. Because the Kled, I mean, they're both going to be melee. I mean, the Kale starts off as a melee champion, is not going to have a fun time against the Kled in lane, most likely. And the Echo ganks, I don't know how the Echo ganks are with the W. I don't know how much you are familiar with actually ganking as the Echo, how efficient that is. Or is he going to be looking more for fighting the Kayn in the jungle?
Initially, he'll be looking at clearing as fast as he can with his Hunter's Houseman start. Then he'll be looking for skirmishes around probably the mid bot side jungle. Or Kale if Kled wants to be like his focus. But once level 6 happens, then I think bot lane and top are his two lanes that he'll want to focus. Echo himself can dive really. The CC coming out from the Ashe ult, as well as having Soraka there to back both of them up from healing. But then also the top lane Kled is a dive master with the help of Skarl. So it'll be really interesting to see that if nothing happens for those two places come around the 11-12 minute mark.
Yeah, and I think that on the side of Oof, they have picked themselves a comp that will allow the Kled and the Echo to get a lot of pressure early, because the Soraka and the Ashe, unless they're getting like hooked left and right, should be pretty comfortable in lane. The Soraka just has to be very careful for the Thresh hooks, but they should be all right. The Swain, I mean, I don't know how the matchup is going to be for Mudkips against someone as good as Fwesh, but Swain also a pretty safe pick into most matchups. So I mean, it really is going to come down to how much can they punish this Kale, in my opinion, and also how much can Echo punish Kane in the jungle.
Sorry, I'm back because I'm slowly dying, but that's
Oh,
okay. Acid reflexes,
oh boy.
doctors today. Um, yeah, I think what I'm most. Did I just have a puberty moment? Wow, that was weird.
Excuse
I
me.
think, yeah, the Kale for Ganwiener. I'm gonna go look up his account right now because I don't believe I've seen most of it.
Has he played it much? I guess that is the question.
Yeah.
Um,
All
Also,
right.
OTP also going for 2 ignites, while Oof is going for an exhaust and 2 TPs.
Yeah, I definitely like the exhaust coming out from the Soraka.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Okay, so Ganwian has played 29 games of Kale
Oh.
with a 60% win rate,
Hmm.
but a 2.3 KDA. So
That's
he,
just Kale, though. Learning Kale is a little rough. You in for a few games. I've had
yeah,
that experience myself.
yeah, and recently the Ganwiener has been just spamming the top lane.
Hmm.
So good on them. As most of y'all may or may not know, Ganwian was and still is an Anivia one trick, but being put top lane with
Wait, is he
the
really?
yeah, he's a mid laner.
Oh, I was not aware of that.
Yeah. So when he got picked up, I was like, oh, he can learn more Anivia tricks from the one twig himself, Flesh, who's the highest rated Anivia on PMA LCS, because we have him and we have Dylan Youngs and we have Greg, Gerg7, and now we have Ganwian. Got a lot of Anivias.
Every mid laner either has to main Xerath or Anivia in this league. There's no exceptions,
Or
apparently.
Malzahar. Those are the three. That's the
Or Mouse.
trifecta.
Yeah.
That's the trifecta. And all junglers have to love Vi, apparently. Because you have Dylan, Frontlash, myself. I mean, I think in season 1 or 2 there was actually a team called Team Vi because they were all Vi one tricks
Oh
at
my
some point.
goodness.
Uh, but I think I'm looking at these comps and I can say while Ganwain has had some time on Hale, who I'm really interested to see looking at his view, he has been going the on-hit AP build, which I think is kind of what you think when you think about it. But when the adaptive damage got changed over from AP to AD, the crit build is really the way to go right now for that.
Is it really? I actually
Yeah,
was not aware of that.
Triforce into like IE, rapid fire cannon, stuff like that. That's the way to go
That disgusts me.
because then you're critting in almost every attack, and then once you hit level, your AOE critting an entire area that does more AOE
Oh.
crit than what Sivir does in a team fight.
Oh, apparently, yeah, Triforce Rapid Fire Infinity Edge has a 65% win rate. Huh.
Hey, look at their stats, everybody.
With a 12% pick rate in lane. Huh.
Yeah. All, all,
Well,
I'll, all I'll say is
that's
that I know that
spicy.
General Dill is somewhere and saying that build is garbage, but hey, stats are stats are stats, and that's not in iron to gold, my dude.
Well, according to OPGG, Infinity Edge is only the second highest win rate item for Kale to buy. Kale wins the most after she's bought a Rabadon's Death Cap, which also means Kale wins the most when she's full build. So what a
Yeah.
surprise that is.
Yeah, Rabadon's death cap. Is she buying that first? No, my dude, she is not. um, but yeah, so as we get in here, where's everyone gonna go? Where who are we picking to win this game? Does one Twick come back and even the series at 1-1, or does Laddie Dabby Doo's hopes come through and Oof pulls the 2-0?
Honestly, to me, it's looking like Oof, at least based on the team comps. Oof's team comp turns on much sooner than OTP's does because Oof at 6 can basically pick any team fight they want. OTP is basically playing 4v5 until Kale hits 11. So, um, it's going to be a little rough, especially with the disparity of as soon as Kled hits 6, he can just start ganking and engaging and running down lanes, and Kale just needs to keep sitting in lane. Unless, Kale could just crush lane, but, on paper, at a first glance, it's looking like Ook to me. Right, pause at 10.
Yeah, I definitely am going to agree with you. I also just think that if you ever... hold on. Let's look at some of these keystones. I'm not there yet. I think the one that I want to question is Count Cledula on the press the attack as opposed to the Conqueror. But, all right, and I'm at 10 now.
All right.
So 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
13, 14, 15, right? We're good?
Yeah. So, Kled, before the Conqueror rework, Kled would go press the attack. It's not an inherently bad build on him, because of the W. Just like it's so disgustingly strong if you get, the 3 or 4 hits on it. But at the same time, from what I've seen, Conqueror has definitely become the predominantly, strong. Lucid just kind of dashing over that wall. No fear.
Well, he is the Echo.
Yeah. No, yeah, I was gonna say, like, Kled, press attack is by no means bad, but it's been, I think a lot of Kled players now are starting to take the Conqueror instead. But press attack is by no means like a bad pick.
For sure. It's not like he's taking Glacial Augment. Or,
yeah, it's not weird.
Guardian.
It's just like outdated per se, It's not bad.
Yeah, he's not taking Guardian or anything.
Yeah.
This will be the second game that we do see Gibson. Question: while he did get the rough end of the stick of that matchup in the first game, I think this lane matchup benefits him even more. Interesting to note that Theatrics will be getting his red buff with the help. Tries to prop him up. You're clear.
Oh.
Yep.
In the top lane already, Ganween kind of, getting a few hits back with Necro Guy.
Yeah, I love where this league has become. Oh, swap the nameplates and update the score. They're asking.
Oh.
It's okay.
It'll be done momentarily. Yeah, Kale going Klepto, which has become normal for Kale. Like at the end, Kale players have kind of realized that you just should never really be betting on crushing lane early. You just kind of have to get through it. So, Klepto has become the main choice for Kale players in lane.
Yeah, especially into a melee matchup.
And the bot lane Saga showing how easy support is, just zoning like crazy.
Yeah. If only Afromu could do that in LCS.
Feels bad.
Feels Afro, man.
Yeah. Elucida, not taking a second buff, going for the Scuttle Crab with Theatrix just around the corner. Needs to take this soon, though, before Theatrix finds him.
Yeah, he will get it right there. Interestingly enough, you know that Kane will start on the bottom side because he generally starts at... But you knew, because the bot lane came late, that he could go in, and he goes from bot side buff, one camp into Scuttle there, which I think is really good, which puts him still on the top side of the map. For he knows Kane's going to be on the top side, which is not bad at all.
For a potential gank here, actually. Decides to not go for it.
I think it's smart by him because it's just kind of a little bit of a wasted time, in my opinion, as now he's going to be a little bit behind on that farm game, as Alud is a whole camp ahead of him.
Yeah, Slaga getting a nice hook onto Jumper J, getting him kind of low, but at the end of the day, the Soraka just heals him up. Yeah.
We're at 355, 6, 7, 8.
We good?
9.
Alright. Yep. Necro Guy getting a little bit pushed in. Kled honestly just kind of has 0 wave clear until he gets like a Tiamat, so just kind of how it is early game on Kled. Both junglers here, I wonder if either of them know that the other is here yet.
No, they don't. But here we go. Theatrics,
Ooh.
as he does go down, and Ganwing Knight's going to have to flash out, but he comes with that red buff and gets a second kill right there. My goodness. Yeah, you're a Kane free anything. He didn't have smite. He didn't have any battle stats. He flashes in. Early ganking on Kane.
Yeah. Echo completely whiffing the parallel convergence and still managing to just win the 2v2. Now going into the mid lane.
Forces the flash and ignite out of flash. While in bot lane, a nice hook from Slaga ignites, but onto Shaboy. Ignited Jumper J, excuse me, but Shaboy was getting hit by the hook, had to flash away, but was able to keep Jumper J alive. They only burned 2 summoners for 1 in the bot lane, so advantage one-trick ponies, but overall, great advantages across the map.
Yeah, and like I was saying, like the bot lane and the mid lane for Oof can just kind of do their own thing. As long as they're not dying, they can just kind of keep farming.
Yeah, but here comes Lucida. Oh!
Ooh.
Turnaround right there, and a nice flay as he gets a major damage. He hasn't even backed yet, and that's, I think, the scariest thing, as the guy in the top lane, I said press the attack proc, but doesn't do much of it right there. Theatrics trying to get some damage right here onto Mudkips. Just, these are the ganks on Kane that you can make, that you can, like, be like, I did it because that on, like,
yeah,
speaking of why are you doing this, Necro guy going in.
Yeah, getting 6 before Ganween.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
He says you have a Ganweener, while mine is a.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. You know what? Stop that for a second. I'm gonna stop myself right there.
Lucida's still hanging out in the bot lane. Lucida's burned everyone's summoners except for Slaga with his ganks and has yet to recall.
Yeah, the second spawn of buffs has happened. Elucida has 1,800 gold in his pocket and is going to be probably, hopefully, backing after.
I don't know. He could get that blue buff. You never know.
Yeah, I think if he does, it's the mistake, in my opinion. You spend that gold. He's making the mistake.
Oh, he's thinking about it. Yeah, he's going for it.
Dead wolf.
To finish my point from like 3 ganks ago, like I was saying, Oof, you know, the Swain and the Ashe just kind of have to keep farming. Who they want to get ahead is the Echo and the Kled, and, you know, they're doing that. Everything's going according to plan so far.
Yeah, I totally agree. Here comes a possible gank shot. Right there's Theatrics had ping to come in, but now they don't really do anything. Slaga is now here, and Mudkip's playing this extremely safe, as I believe they saw somehow Slaga coming up. Yeah, right there on that nicely placed ward. Who placed that ward? I'm gonna give him some kudos.
Oh, we can't see who placed it.
Well, given the amount of time, it's probably Mudkips. But it can't be because he has a vision score. Good job.
It could have been Elucida when he left that game.
It was Elucida for sure. As Ganween has to burn Final Judgment, is that what it's called? Divine Judgment.
Yeah. With the charge on Kled coming up in just 10 seconds, he's just gonna get his ult up and kill him. Like, Ganween doesn't leave right now.
Yeah, and
there's no one here to save him if Necroguy goes in.
Oh! Wow! That's incredible! Lantern right there, unfortunately, for whatever. He was body blocked by it. Maybe silence doesn't allow you to click it. Has to burn the heal so he doesn't die. My goodness, this bot lane is actually just becoming almost unhinged for the side of one-trick ponies, as Oof has just getting these advantages across the map, and dun.
Dive's coming in.
The dive in the top lane gets the stun.
Ooh.
Burgess and Necroguy and Elucida are doing a class right here. But here comes your boy right here. Gets the Enchanted Crystal Arrow right there. But Aga, bloodthirsty support, takes the kill right there, and they actually finally get on the board right there. So 1-for-1 trade across the map, but as I said, once those level 6s started happening across the map, Echo has it right there. And in the mid lane, the Flash Ignite, he has to try to survive. Great use of the ultimate by
Take it out, yeah.
Great use of the ultimate by Mudkips, but that does mean now with no mid laner, knowing that the jungler was on the top side of the map, that One Trick will get a consolation prize of this Infernal Drake right here, while Necro Guy continues to cash in on these turret plates.
Yeah, he's gonna have every single plate picked up as Kale gets back to lane. Wow.
Yeah, this is looking really rough side of One Trick Ponies. Even with Kleptomancy, he is down like by 1,300. Do I know how to do math? 1,700 gold.
Yes, that. Yeah, he's down 1,700 gold.
In the top lane, while in the jungle there's a 600 different, 500 mid lane, as Flush is just, again, basically the Froggen on this team. Always extremely good at farming and getting advantages through lane without much of any help. I think that's actually a great comparison. Flesh is also an Anivia player, so is Froggen. That's cool. I love this. I love my life. Ganwan gonna get face checking onto a Lucida right here, who's gonna get the parallel convergence. The divine judgment coming up, but the pool does happen right there, and 0-4-0. It is not your solo queue games, and my friend, unfortunately, no one plays Echo Jungle at all. So as they look for Mudkips in the mid lane, as he does not have the ultimate back, and this is probably going to be a dead Swain as he's looking to just trade some damage back. Probably could have ran, but the Soraka ultimate coming down as they use it right there. And they're going to get the first tower right there. Ganwian going to go down after he just...
Oh
my goodness, this is just...
That is the worst feeling as a top laner. TPing and after dying and just dying again. That is the worst feeling.
Yeah,
he's down over 2,000 gold to Necro Guy.
And they can just dive Theatrics because even though he has the available, Necro just jumps off a Scar. And Jumper J is trying to get their...
The TP from Mudkips.
Oh, Mudkips gets the kill!
Boy.
Oh my goodness! Oof is winning across the map. There you have so much pressure everywhere. They're just diving top lane. Dyrus dies again, finally shows back up towards the top lane. And Mudkips does a great TP to try to save the rest of his team as they're going to look for more turret plates here before 14 minutes.
Mudkips just straight up stealing that kill and saying that was all me. After Shaboy completely saves Jumper J's life in that bot lane skirmish.
So as it stands right now, 5 plates going down on the top side of the map with 2 in the bot lane, and the only plate to be taken was just recently, I believe, from the mid lane. So we're looking at 7-1 in plates, which is why we see this 3.2k gold lead for the side of Oof. My goodness.
Yeah, they don't... The only thing they really have going for them is this dragon right now and the massive CS lead built up by Flesh. But if he just gets ulted by Necro Guy, it's not going to matter. He's just going to get absolutely exploded. He may have an 800 gold lead against over Mudkips, but now he's also 1,800 gold behind Necro Guy. So at the end of the day, those kills for Necro Guy are mattering more than the CS lead on Flesh. So... I mean, that goes back to what I was saying at the very beginning. The players on Oof kind of know their roles. The Ashe knows, you know what, I'm just going to be ult.
I hate to cut you off, but here comes the da-da-da-da! Kled coming in on the bot side of the lane right. Gonna get on to Jirachi right there with the press the attack. They're just going to go so hard. Jirachi goes down. Necro Guy's tanking up, even gets a Soraka ultimate. Splaga doesn't know what he can do. Lucidus tanking, he has to press R for the convergence. As they just take him down, and even Jaboy gets a kill credit as Mudkips gets executed. As Theatrics is saying, okay, I'm finally gonna try to do what he can, and they get a second right there at the 14-minute mark. So 9 plates going down altogether as Flesh was trying to do what he could to turn it in the lane, and Ganwei finally saying, thank goodness, get that Kled out of my lane. I need to farm.
Ganwei is an absolute madman right now. With almost a 3k gold lead over his lane opponent at 15
Who?
minutes. Ganwei. Sorry, Necroguy, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. Ganwei by no means has a gold lead right now, unfortunately. Yeah, Ganwei, I mean, doing his best. He can't join these fights until he gets an item and hits level 11, so, you know, just doing what he can. And actually getting put against Mudkips, who is looking to kind of catch up after Flesh, and, you know, putting him against the currently weakest member of OTP is a good idea. The easiest person for him to continue laning against.
Yeah, I definitely think that would probably be good. Also, with the Swain not even... It's going to be an extremely scaling thing. But once that Roa happens, and we get, I guess, the Merc Treads coming in for the side of Mudkips right here. But I don't know if they really have any agency on the map to try to contest the dragon fight. The bottom side of the map right now, currently, is the strong part, since Necroguy is the one inhabiting that, with Elucida close in tow, as Necroguy has been a part of 9 of the 11 kills, and Elucida being part of 8 of those 11 kills, as they have found Theatrics right there. Are they looking to try to go in at him? No, but Ganwei and Mudkips are looking to fight each other right now. Mudkips does have the ult available, so does Ganwei. As they're going to look to clear out some vision on this dragon so they can get pressure in the mid lane.
Yeah, neither of the guys in the top lane actually currently have TP, so if they want to join this dragon fight, they either have to recall or just run their way down. And it looks like Ganwei will head back top while the dragon dance continues.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, it's better for him to do that currently, because...
Yeah, he's not going to get anything by joining the dragon.
Yeah, he can probably try to save someone's life, but there's no kind of worse thing as the Superman rocket comes out. Theatric's going to try to steal another here. As he does, the early smite comes out from Elucida, but it pays with his life, and here comes the ultimate from Flesh right there.
Shockwave.
Yeah, right there. Elucida going back as Necroguy can tank Dave. Elucida going back. The parallel convergence goes and stops them right there. Mudcaps has now joined from the top lane after trying to push that in, but gives up a lot of farm in the top lane as they're going to get this mid lane tier 1 and possibly tier 2. It seems like every time that they fight over an objective, Elucida doesn't get the fight off, but his team just outfights the rest of the team, and Theatrics usually giving up his...
Yeah, I mean, they have a 6k gold lead at 17 minutes. Most of this gold lead is literally just Necroguy right now. And like I was saying, like, it doesn't even matter that Flesh is actually so far ahead of Mudkips, because Necroguy just ults him. It doesn't matter. If he's their only damage right now, it literally doesn't matter. Theatrics is way too far behind. Drachi needs to complete an item. Flesh is all their damage, and if Necroguy ults Flesh, the fight is over.
Yeah, speaking of over, right now is the Herald on the map being picked up. So with all the tier 1s down, you're going to, and the tier 2 in the mid lane has been taken off the map. You do have kind of flexibility to use this anywhere you want. I think maybe Jirachi can pick up this mid lane turret if he wanted to from the back timers. Doesn't want to extend so far. And that's kind of what I think this game has gotten to. If he would have stayed, he probably gets that gold for himself. Gets that IE edge. But, IE, excuse me. But he's not comfortable.
Infinity edge.
Yeah, infinity edge. But, also, is the game zoomed in? I don't know.
It does not look zoomed in to me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can you...
thing? No, but
Yeah,
it's not zoomed,
yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
You're only closer to the game, right? Field game. Welcome to PMA LCS.
It took me a second because Rob said, I feel like the game feels closer, and I'm like, this game doesn't feel close at all. I don't know what think Rob might just be used to seeing like the spec mode thing.
Yeah, where everyone's zooming out and stuff like
Yeah.
streams or stuff like that.
Kale now has an item. Kale is level 11, but Kale has one item and Kled has two. So.
Yeah, woof or oof, I don't know all of as oof. My goodness, theatrics. He's almost a dead man. Oh, and the nice the arrow, but Elucida going a little. Unfortunately, that 700 shutdown does go over to Oriana, which is not bad, but you would have liked that on your Jinx instead.
Yeah. That's the stuff they need to not do if they're ahead, though, because a 1-for-1 trade here is a win for OTP.
Yeah. Ooh, nice predict on the flash right there by Necro Guy. Just flexing.
Burning the old. Honestly, I feel like Oof should be pushing the bot lane now and dropping the Rift Herald somewhere. I don't really know if they can really take this top turret together.
Well,
with the Oriana coming in.
Yeah, but with the Kale ult down and both Demonic Ascension and Ultimate from Kled up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sean,
I mean, the Kale and the Oriana just wave clear too much. I really think they just need to be looking for having Necro Guy go bot and having everyone else go top and drop that Rift Herald there. He has TP up. He can split push. He can 1v1 literally anybody. He can probably 1v2 anybody. All of them just going to go in.
Try to get Slugger right here as he... What?
Oh, a Necro Guy. Absolute madman.
Going straight in underneath the tower. The plays you said they couldn't make. Jinx going to get that massive shutdown on the Super Mega Death Rocket. They didn't even have a Lucida with them. So apparently the carries of Oof said, well, what you can do, I can do better. I'm going to... The other carry a huge shutdown.
This greed is getting a little rough, and this Rift Herald's starting to run out. They need to drop this somewhere.
Yeah, Mudkips is currently the holder and the... Probably looking around right now to try...
They've got like 15. Yeah. They're dropping it mid rough. It's just going to die.
Yeah, unfortunate that he just kind of stood around mid lane doing nothing right there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious if they're just... If is it the greed, or are they just not sure what to do now that they have such a lead? You know what I mean? Like they've crushed so hard with the Kled and the Echo. Do they know what their next step is, or are they just greeting? You know, is it like a team issue right now, or an individual issue?
I think it's an individual issue. I can hear the comms already side. Nectar Guy, his playstyle, I don't know him personally, definitely seems like a go forward and then think about it later sort of thing. And Elucida is kind of like that, as well as like a theatrics player where, hey, I'm going to go forward, I'm going to try to make this advantage, and then if I can make this happen, the team can follow up. He did that once. He probably didn't relay that over the guy, and now you can see by the posturing from the side of Oof that they're a lot more timid, as finally around 22 minutes, Theatrics gets his form. My goodness, got it around the 21-minute mark, possibly. Jeez. That's a very, very late transformation. But with that being said, it is a transformation nonetheless, and huge amounts to the team as Elucida right there is going to catch out Flush right here, who will be taken away by the Lantern. Very nice dark passage there.
This will turn into a top turret, though, because of these rotations.
Yeah.
At the same time, Ganween gets solo gold on the bot turret is very slowly, but is starting to scale. He's doing it.
Yeah, and here comes a Necro Guy getting found out, but the Enchanted...
Ooh. Laga getting obliterated. The Necro Guy still has his ult.
Yep, and then he goes in, he misses it, but now 2 kills on the side of Oof right. The charge from the Rift Herald did take down mid lane inhibitor down to about half, but I think going for this Baron right here is the correct call. You don't have the Oriana, who is their most fed member, on the map anymore, and you don't have the Thresh anymore either. You also have Rocket to help 2 tanks right here. This should be a very, very free Baron here at 24 and a half.
They have near total vision control here. No one's going to be able to stop them.
Yep, Super Mega Dex Rocket coming in just to check to verify what we all knew it was true. And at 24 minutes and 10 everybody on the side of Oof with Baron, they should be looking to close it out with this Baron buff, because if it does get to that 30-minute mark and the next Baron does spawn and they're not down 2 inhibitors on the side of One Trick Pony, they can win almost any team fight with the correct target prioritization, because Kale most likely will be at level 16 at that point, and Jinx will have maybe her 3-item spike at that point.
Actually, as I mentioned a minute ago regarding Vision Score, I think it's interesting to see that while Salaga is pretty noticeably ahead of Shiboy with Vision Score, everyone else on Oof has managed to chip in and is noticeably ahead of their counterparts in Vision.
I'll tell you this, maybe, I don't know if Hawk shots that Jumper J throws out, but it'd be really interesting to know if that is true. But 26 to 13 in that Vision Score is pretty big. For 80 carry especially.
Yeah.
As the bot lane tier 2 tower is raised by Guy, he's gotten both side lane 2s as they're going to just escort these minions in and do a nice one push right here.
Yeah, that is the way to go. Mudkip's having to step back a bit just to bring the wave in, but, you know, slow and steady, the mid turret's at half, they know what their plan is. If anyone goes for a fight mid, not an Echo, but Necro Guy can just ult right in.
Yeah, and I do think that this is definitely the way, as the cannon minions powered attack will be chipping away very slow at these towers. I think the next wave or two is where you would see either these towers get raised or a fight to happen.
Lucida going up a little bit.
Yeah, just kind of showing face, trying to drag more pressure.
Dragging the pressure and getting them the mid turret.
Yeah, right there. Lucida showing bot, threatening a dive of the rest of the team come down. They do get that mid lane tier inhibitor turret right there. Ashe with the Hurricane and Blade the Rune King has not died this entire game because they have no dive or threat to go in the back. And Ganwian doesn't even get to use the... There had to be a crit of some type. My goodness, that damage coming out from Necro Guy. I don't even know what the heck that was. Oh, he has lethality. Oh my lord.
Yeah, and like I was saying, it looks like he used his Hydra proc. Oh
and
my god.
Slaga goes down to the Enchanted Crusader Theatrics inside Necro, but doesn't team as Jinx goes down right there. Lucida goes right there. And the first Nexus Tower goes down. Flesh is just standing, gonna get a lot of damage down. A lot of damage returned back onto him, and he dies to the Swain right there as oof! Shanghai! Never mind, doesn't matter. We're still in the last place team in TBR, but 2-0 for oof. Right. My goodness, what a game from the side of oof.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
spicy. And I mean, just going back to what I was saying since Champ Select, knowing their roles. You know, the Kled and the Echo do the engages. What's Swain's job? Ult and walk in. What's Ashe's job? To drop an ult. What's Rocka's job? To heal. They all have a simple purpose, while the Kled and the Echo just kind of wreak havoc. So everyone knew their roles, and it was, you know, executed it perfectly.
Yeah, my goodness. If you look at the damage charts, Elucida and Necro Guy are just miles ahead of everybody outside of Flesh, who, you know, respectfully did an admirable job trying to just do as much as they could, but Theatrics was put behind a little bit in that early game, just not being able to, you know, that first failed gank top and then not getting to a transformation until around the 20-minute mark.
There was just no early game pressure at all from any of the champions on OTP. On OOF, unfortunately for them. Sorry, on OTP. Sorry.
Yeah. I just think that, like, if you want to just look at where this game was won, look at the top side of the map for each team. 2-3-1, 0-5-1, 0-6-1 for the side of OTP, and then for the side of OOF, 2-2-1 for the mid laner, but then 10-1-7 and 8-1-10, and both of those ones in the middle are because they were just extremely greedy at trying to press their advantages. And I mean, 2 more attempts like that, and it could have gone the other way. Jirachi was scaling up, had a second Zeal. Ganwian was almost, to that level 16 if they would have had more time to not be with the team and having the group. But really, really tough right there. For MVPs, I think it's got to either be Necroguy or Elucida, and if I'm being honest, I'm giving it to Elucida this.
I'm giving it to Elucida as well. I mean, Necroguy got an advantage and pushed it, but how did he get the advantage? Because of the counter gank by Elucida. I mean, when we saw Elucida literally walk from top to mid to bot, and every time a summoner spell was burned, that won them the early game.
Yeah, I mean, it was huge that he burnt every summoner, as you said, minus Slugga, because Slugga's just so cool and pretty. But that, and then being able to make these dives work. I think this was something that was so well thought of. As you said, it was the Necro guy on the Kled. Hey, this guy can tower dive. Hey, at level 6, Elucida, he can tower dive. Hey, anyone can tower dive as long as Raka's not the one tanking. Mudkips, hey, I can become in this demonic praise me state and tank. Jumper J, just do damage and provide CC. That top side of the map was just so incredible, and I think it's so cool to have seen where OOF was and where they are now. They started the day off at 5-7, I believe, or no? Does that make sense?
3-7, I think.
3-7, and now they're at 5-7. One Trick Ponies started the day, I believe, tied for 4th with Un Treco de Minios, who I believe is on the other stream right now. I believe it's Bear Jr. On I Wanna Was a Good Day. And if UTD wins 2-0, they'll be tied with Don't Ban Poppy. If UTD loses 0-2, they'll be tied with One Trick Ponies that we just saw today, giving Labby Dabby Doo an outright 4th place behind Don't Ban Poppy,
Yo,
Legends
let's go.
Cat, and Caligma Bobway.
Dang.
Yeah, I talked about my.
It's looking like Necroguy by 1 vote.
Who voted for your boy? Is that you, Olive? I see you, Olive. I see your vote. All right, we're gonna close it in 1 minute. Boom, 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 boom.
But Joe, are you still muted?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. Wait a minute. The vote is tied. Someone break this tie.
Oh yeah. Someone needs to break the tie.
Well.
Oh!
Elucida! All right.
Wow! Elucida!
It's Elucida.
Oh my God! Florida demands a recount, but we're no longer in that state. I never went there. Horrible state, by the way. Elucida is your Game 2 MVP. My goodness. And who was it in Game 1? Was it Necroguy?
It was Necroguy.
All right, Necroguy and Elucida, come join us. And both captains, please join us in the player of the game number uno. Wow, what a game. Collusion. Am I watching a horse race? It's neck and neck and as a photo finish. It's Elucida.
Hey, how's it going, people?
Hey,
Hello.
speaking of horses. Wait.
What?
What?
Wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Nani?
Okay.
Oh my, that boy was so
Classic.
raspy. Oh God, you okay? Are you sick?
I was sick and tired of not watching good League of Legends, and I saw this game tonight.
Let's move on to the interview.
and that's been the Minbug Minute. No, no, yeah. So some great League of Legends here today from both teams. But honestly, here on the caster desk, we kind of counted y'all out in game 1 for the side of Oof because we were like, that comp needs to get rolling early. And if they don't, they're going to get outscaled. And then in game 2, one trick ponies were like, we're just going to pick a better scaling comp. And you're like, let's go even harder. So, really good game to y'all. Do we not have a cap?
Y'all, they're Oof.
We seem to have lost for fall.
What?
I'm s-
Oh
no, I'm
no.
kidding.
Wait, my brain hurts. What's happening?
I don't know where the captain is for both teams, but
I don't
All
think we don't do captain.
well, we said we didn't, and then we did it for the past. So-
Whatever.
Yeah, get your
Um,
stuff together, guys. Come on.
Yeah, so
Yeah, admin.
we're all
abuse.
you need.
All right, so Necro guy,
Mhm.
tell me, are you balls and he's Mios, or are you
I'll
just
be the
saying-
captain.
Oh, okay, great.
Oh, okay. What was the
Uh,
question?
Are you the balls to his Meteos, or are you just telling him, hey, gank my lane or else I'll like, because that y'all synergy is like absolutely.
Honestly, it's kind of half and half because like a lot of the times it'll be us. We're just constantly communicating. That's one thing we've been really working on is trying to make sure that we can say, okay, what's our next goal? What do we want to do here? And I see, okay, well, I have an ability to dive top. Let's just do that. Or he'll be in the area of the map and say, okay, well, I think we can do this play, and I'm like, sure, why not? Let's go for it. I mean, one thing that I think is kind of a good and bad thing about our team is we have a very risky play style. We like going big, making sure we can really, take advantage of our lead. So it's really just a constant communication. I mean, I know these last couple of games are really heavy top side, but we have to give credit down to our bot lane as well. They were able to make sure they did what they needed to. Because as you guys were saying, we had certain win conditions, we just followed it, and that's how we were able to, go through everything.
Yeah, you talk about having a really ballsy and big play, and you said communication's one of your biggest keys. So tell me what the comms were like when Elucida goes in and dies
Whoa,
bot
whoa,
lane.
whoa, 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 whoa,
That
whoa,
was
whoa,
my
whoa, whoa,
question.
whoa,
Why don't
okay,
why don't
okay,
why
okay.
don't you ask us the comms when he missed that Baron smite?
Whoa, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa!
Well, no,
guys,
I mean, hey, as a fellow jungler, I understand that sometimes you just put them in this false sense of, hey, they think I'm gonna miss smite every time.
Wait, I
But
don't. Whoa,
when
this is
you jump in, and then you give it over, and then I guess like you just want to say anything you can do, I can do better. So
I
then
mean,
you,
yeah, look, yeah, I just
you-
flashed over while dismounted. Yeah, I was
yeah, that was very reminiscent of Wild
Oh, man.
Turtle.
the second I did it, I knew I was boned. I was like, uh oh.
And that's when
Yeah.
you fucked up. Nani?
Nani?
Basically.
No, yeah, but I think it is something that I think the PMA LCS kind of suffers from is never having very assertive like play styles.
Well, we had to do that in the first game. Halfway through, there was a bit of a lull, kind of losing our lead, and we basically just had to say, okay, what's our tool here in team fights? And Hanzu's looking at our comp, and he says, wait, okay, Rakan, you just need to pull the trigger. Let us know whenever you're looking for it, and you can do it. And the second that happened, It's Your Boy just started saying, okay, we can go in here, let's do it. And being more assertive in that playstyle really helped us close that game out.
I totally agree, and you know, while you did win the game 1 MVP, I want to throw another huge shout out to Chaboy right there because I felt like off of those plays right there and the advantage that you got for yourself in the top lane, that he really made that game 1 play happen really well for y'all.
Mhm.
So
Very
Agreed.
much so, yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
Yep. Any other questions from the chat or from anything else? Anyone else?
Well, Sean stole my question, so
Sorry.
Dang, oh, come on, guys. Come on. So sometimes you just gotta make a.
Ooh, I think we got one in the chat here for Hanzu.
Oh, no.
God.
Can you ask
I'll read it,
Hansu
I'll
why
read it,
he's
I'll
so
read it.
bad at Monster Hunter World from Blue Flames 96?
Alright, Blue Flame feel like you're bad at flaming. I'm not even bad at Monster Hunter World. I don't know what you're talking
Oh,
about.
it sounds
I'm
like he's
mediocre
dodging the
at
question to me.
that.
Sounds like he's dodging.
I'm a politician, so I'm really good at that. By the way. No, but I think we played to our win condition, and that's why we won. Communication were good, and it's not that enemy team didn't. Enemy team played well. We just used our advantage as much as we can, really increase the gap as much as we can, and that's how we won. I think.
Yep, I think that's really good. I have a question for Grant, who does join us as the representative side of One Trick Ponies.
So
What are comms like? What is the thought process going into both of those drafts? Not saying that either one was bad. We actually thought that y'all's draft was a lot better in game one. We liked the Urgot, we liked Flesh on the Zillion, you on the Pike, as a playmaking support. So there are a lot of things we liked about game one's draft. What were comms like in terms of that draft, game two draft, and then just talk to me a little bit about the team and how y'all felt both those games went.
well, we're not really happy with how the games went because, well, we lost, but that's to be expected. When we're drafting, we're trying to play towards our strength, but something that just surprised us this time was Necro Guy, you're amazing. Good job. Like seriously.
Appreciate it.
I
Tell
think
that to my solo queue rate. It's like 23% right now.
okay.
Yeah, you
Do
just
you have it? Do you have an email for that or
Yeah,
Oh,
it's called donate to my PayPal.
okay.
hey, don't be
But-
TSM fan. TM.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But pretty much
you'll be TSM fan.
we're not happy with how we played. I think all of us felt a little off. I know I definitely felt a little off tonight, but that's not an excuse for losing or anything. And you played exceptionally well. And I wanted to just come in here and give you all credit where credit is due. So well played in just completely in general.
Yeah,
no,
so
thanks.
I totally appreciate and respect that. With game one's comp, I think it was a easier comp to kind of identify. What were your thoughts going in after game one into game two, and why y'all drafted the comp that y'all did?
I'm trying to think. I'm in a game right now, so I'm like thinking and
I
answering.
can hear the clicking.
Oh, here, you want me
Yeah.
to click louder?
High level intensity, 8 p.m. boys.
Okay, let's see who we play. We played Thresh, Jinx, bot lane. We killed Soraka. Good thing. Yeah, when he locked in Soraka, I was like, give me Thresh. Because I wanted to hook him and hook him and hook him, but then we were never really in position for me to hook him and hook him and hook him.
Yeah, like why was the Jinx more of a takeaway, or I kind
think
of
the
interject was maybe like a hey, they played my champion, I'm gonna do it better.
No, that I
Okay.
hate it when people do that. And Rich is not like that. Rich wouldn't do
Okay.
that just for that reason. We played it because we wanted to get Rich on something a little more comfortable because Rich felt a little not not super comfy.
On the Vars.
Yeah, on the Varus first game, which
Okay.
kind of sucks. But oh
Yeah.
well. Sorry, I'm focused. I just got ganked.
All right, cool. Well, as he just got ganked, I'm gonna gank him out of the room.
Oh wait, I don't
Okay.
think that's how it works.
No, I'm just kidding.
You
I'm
can't. No, that would be really helpful. Kick me out, please, so I don't have to.
Mild abuse. Yeah.
Yeah, I did it for him, not because I hate him, but because I love him. That's what
What
we
a
do here. at
nice
Gaming
guy.
House. Yeah, and that's been your Min Bung mentoring moment. No, I have all these MMMs, whatever. But if there's no other questions from chat, by the way, congratulations again to the side of Oof, as now y'all are going to be in ninth place, like in the thick of that playoff hunt with
Shanghai.
Yeah, Shanghai. You're only a game back of One Trick Ponies now, FAP and Juicy Vita Milk Torpedoes. We have an off week this next week for the All-Star break, but the remaining schedule that y'all have is SVT, who's just above y'all, Labby Dabby Doo, who is currently invading this call, and they're 2 games ahead of y'all. Then you play against Legends on Tap, who's right now I won. And then y'all play y'all, who you're just above in the standings, and then you round out the rest of it against Paw Patrol for the final game. So, looking at your schedule, you will be deciding your own fate about your playoff berth.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling really good about it. Ever since we switched jumper bot lane, we're 5-1, and that one game we lost, we had to make him. So I think that really helped us out, really solidifying that bot lane, making sure that we have that consistent damage that he's able to put out with the champions he likes playing. Feeling really good about it.
Yeah, I definitely think it is good. While his mid lane pull is nice, it's nice to have, I think, a more solidified bot lane between him and Shaboy, and Mudkip's playing these super safe control mages, knowing exactly what. And the last thing I'll ask, if anyone wants to think of another question, is that Morgana mid. We usually see it on the pro scene with Glacial Augment. Did y'all talk to him about it?
So I
you
We
read
were
my-
actually
about
talking about it.
So
Yeah.
I
we were
talked to
mentioning
him.
Did you read my message, Hansu?
Well, that's the private conversation I would not like to discuss. But that being said,
Send
some
nudes,
little
by the way.
bird told me OPT is different. Told me that told me that the Morgana should take Glacial Augment, and I told John that, and John's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take Comet instead because I like Comet better." I'm like, fair enough, whatever. It's no use giving him or giving anyone something that they're not used to, or at least
Yeah.
not played before. Just might as well give him what he's used to already and just go with it. And it turned out to be okay, pretty nice.
Yeah, for sure. I do think that's good. I think maybe in the future it is something to look towards, because I do think that is definitely a pick that y'all can use as well. Just look up some Glacial Augment stuff. It's fairly simple. But I'm gonna cut it. Any of y'all got any other questions?
No, not in particular.
All right. Well, I don't have host powers over here, but I'm going to spam in our chat the link for the other game that's currently going on. As there, yeah, I know. I'm not going to tell. There is a game going on that you can see is game 2. So if you want to find out who game 1, go over there, drop a follow to our man Bear Jr. on I When It Was a Good Day. For everyone here at the Not So Lively broadcast crew, thank you to Rafal, Biscuit Hat, and for our 2 members of OOF, and then Grant, who's still probably getting ganked in a solo queue game. My name is Ben Bung, and thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the other stream. We have an all-star break next week. Thank you. Goodbye.
See ya.
Da-na-na.